Good morning, one and all. A warm welcome to the International Conference on Business Renaissance, the Era of Digital Cure, organized by the Department of Commerce, Ethiraj College for Women, in association with the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I now request Ms. Krishna Veni, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Self-Supporting, to welcome the session speaker.
Good morning. On behalf of the Department of Commerce at Ethiraj College for Women and the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I welcome you all to the next session on the topic the digital future of marketing, impact and implications for business strategy. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce the speaker of the session, Dr. Stephen R.O. Gordon. Dr. Stephen R.O. Gordon is an assistant professor and chief examiner of the project management program at the Department of Business and Accounting, Muscat College, Oman. His work has spanned over 20 years in management development, consulting, scientific research, teaching, and training at leading business schools in Nigeria and in India. Over the past 15 years, he has actively participated in several funded research international development projects, including those sponsored by the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation, Sultanate of Oman, the World Bank, UNICEF, USAID, and EU Safeguard. He graduated from the University of Nigeria with Best Graduating Student Award. He received a master degree in business administration with distinction in investment analysis and strategic management. He earned a PhD in management studies with a dean's acknowledgement for the best doctoral thesis award in the faculty of management studies to the National University Commission. An alumnus of Manchester Business School, UK, Senior International Bankers Program, and adjunct faculty of Finance and Strategy at SDMIMD, Mysore, India. He currently teaches and moderates a wide range of business courses, including Introduction to Finance, Corporate Finance, Financial Analysis, Project Estimating and Budgeting, Estimating and Scheduling, Strategic Management, International Business and Research Methodology. Before joining Muscat College, he served as the head of the department, Financial Mathematics, and senior lecturer in the Faculty of Computing and Applied Sciences and Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, respectively, at Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria. We welcome you, sir. Now, I kindly request Dr. Stephen to take over.
Great. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Am I audible, distinguished guests, participants? Am I audible? Can somebody just confirm if I'm audible? Yes? I want to be sure I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. All right. Thank you so much for the introduction, and I really like to thank the Ethiraj College of for Women for this privilege and wonderful opportunity to interact with you on this special occasion. I'm really delighted and bring you greetings, warmest greetings from all of us here in Muscat, in the Sultanate of Oman. Greetings from my chairman, Dr. Al Ghazali, and the Dean, Dr. Kafan, and my head of department, Dr. Arabi. We all send our special love and greetings to Ethiraj College for Women and the postgraduate program and the research department at the college. I think that it's really a wonderful opportunity having regard to the theme of the conference, the business renaissance, and how the digital era can be a cure to what is happening around us. I'm going to be speaking, as introduced, on the digital future of marketing, impact and implications for business strategy. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you so much. Next slide. Okay. Um, in the next couple of minutes, probably 1 hour thereabout, I'm going to be speaking on a number of issues relating to marketing. You might be wondering from my introduction why I'm talking about marketing when my background really has hovered around finance and strategy. But I need to tell you that when I started working, I started as a management trainee in a multinational company associated with Unilever. If you know about Unilever, they are producers of personal products like soap and so on, way back in Nigeria. So joining the company gives us a lot of exposure to a wide range of business activities, not only limited to finance, but also marketing. When it comes to retailing, you got to be very grounded in marketing. So that developed my interest in marketing. And so over the years, I have come to appreciate the role of marketing in business development and even in strategy. You begin to wonder whether you can really have any inclusive strategy without marketing. So I'm going to look at a number of issues, basically within the global context to start with. And then after that, I want to also look at the main thrust of this discussion, which is the digital future of marketing. And then I try to link this digital marketing with business strategy. And then I make some conclusions and that's what it means for managers, what it means for organizations, what it even means for the nations. We're all involved in marketing. We're all involved in it. At the end of this discussion, you see how important it is, this topic in our days and in our era. Next slide, please. Yes. But first of all, because I recognize there are students, participants, so it's important for us to have clarity about what we are actually talking about. For example, when we talk about marketing, what are we really saying? These days, we talk about marketing mix, what it involves. We have activities relating to what you are offering, product, at what price, where are you offering it, how you get it there in terms of promotion. So we talk about 4 P's of marketing. I'm sure students will remember that. But we also have 7 P's. So we have an additional, if you like, elements of marketing called process, people, physical appearance, and all of that. They all make up the marketing activities. Okay, but when you go back to the beginning, you begin to see another perspective from fundamental sources like Encyclopedia Britannica, which I have there on the screen. It says activities involving directing the flow of goods and services from producers to consumers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think you all know that if you are producing something and it's not reaching the consumer is not using it, then of course your productive or production activities become meaningless, isn't it? So hence you begin to understand the role of marketing. Whatever we are doing as people of purpose, as nations of purpose, as organizations with purpose, our job is not finished until we have the society benefiting from it. That's the essence of marketing. Then what do we mean by digital? Now I know that maybe you may agree with me or not. I'm just giving you a clarity about what the key terms I'm going to be using frequently in this discussion or presentation. What is digital? I see it as a business process that is by default or fully online, like we have here, fully automated process with no need for human intervention. That's digital. You begin to understand a lot of things are happening these days that is minimizing human interaction for various reasons: efficiency, expansion of market share, and so on. So many things in that regard. So certainly, we are in the digital age. Then we have digital marketing channels. Okay, these are systems based on the internet, digital networks between the product and the consumer, which a certain value or utility is delivered to the latter. For example, I'm here in Muscat, and I'm sure many of the participants are in maybe other places across the globe. And then some are on the ground there in Chennai, I guess. But how are we doing it? I'm not in Chennai. I'm right here in Muscat. I'm able to reach you digitally. So this is what is happening, especially if you remember in the last 3 years of COVID-19, there's been an upsurge in digital devices and technologies and all of that, trying to reach the customers. So we have a good sense of what we mean by digital marketing. Then, of course, we have the age-old business strategy. What can we do without strategy? Being a business is itself a warfare because you have competition. Whatever sector we find ourselves, wherever part of the world we find ourselves, there are competitors. Okay, so that brings about the need for strategy. How do you win the market? So that makes a strategy an imperative. So you begin to see that marketing does not stand alone without including strategic trust for it to be sustainable. Because we are talking about how to get your goods or services across the customer, not today, not tomorrow alone, but for many years. I mean, Ethiraj College have been there for years, 72 years thereabout. You guys have been there, delivering services in your main area of purpose, which is women development. Fine. So that requires some strategy for it to be sustainable for another 100 years or more, isn't it? So that's the essence of strategy. Of course, all of us are aware what the future is all about. Future is tomorrow. Things are changing all around us every day. What is the expectation of advancing, of making things easier for people, of better welfare, of better society? That's the future. What's going to happen to marketing tomorrow? What's going to happen to our business tomorrow? That is the future. What about impact? Impact is what is significant effect on whatever we're doing. And the implication, of course, is the effect of all of this. So these are the key ideas I'm going to be bouncing around, time permitting me to discuss. But the main point here is the significance of marketing, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very important concept in management, irrespective of the kind of business we find ourselves doing, services, real sector, retailing, whatever it is. Marketing is very essential. And now marketing is evolving, it's changing dramatically over the past years for various reasons. Maybe the next slide will tell us more about that. Next slide, please. Thank you. So now that makes me to ask some questions. What will the world look like in 2050? This is about 40 years from now, or even 2100. What will the world look like? Anybody has any idea? How will science, technology, or even our own buying behavior help to shape that future? These are the questions I have in mind. What is digital, by the way, about marketing? And why is our proper understanding of digital marketing very important for today's business success? And of course, everybody's shared prosperity. How should a design organization or marketing team respond to all these developments? These are the questions. I'm not sure I have the answers. I just want to participants, whoever is listening to me, all my audience members listening to me, to think about this. Think about the future. Everybody living on this earth has a purpose. We all have vision. We have mission. We are not just passing through this. We want to make impact as institutions, as individuals, as a nation, We have purpose. So we're all evolving. We're all looking towards the future, isn't it? So we need to think, how should we respond to what is happening around us in order to fulfill our purpose, our vision? That's the question. That's the overarching question. Next slide, please. Now, let's look at the global context. Every business is not in an island. We're all in the same global plane, guys. So we cannot be unaware of all that is happening around us, that is informing the marketing practice all around the globe. For example, the Russia-Ukraine war is ongoing, supply chain gradually being affected, energy sector gradually being upset. COVID-19, we thought we hope we're emerging from it. But you know, you have the news as much as I have. It appears not to be 100% over yet. So there are disruptions. How to deliver the service, how to continue to use the existing channel. There is fatigue for digital also. There is a crave for humanity, human interaction. We are all human beings. We still remember those old days of delivering marketing stuff, knocking at your door. We don't have that anymore. Fine. So things are changing. COVID-19 is forcing us to change. For example, where is our work? Is work where we go or what we do? So these are the issues here now. Remote working system is there. So how do you do that? If you cannot go for groceries, how do you get the groceries? The new system must be rethought. New ideas must be coming every day, how to deal with these challenges, isn't it? We also have climate change all around us, or in every corner of the world. We're threatened with high and warm, temperature, weather patterns changing all across the globe. How do we respond? How is marketing going to respond to the opportunity and challenges? There's no doubt about it. We are shifting towards the digital. We are shifting. I mean, there's this statistics on the screen. More than 4.62 billion social media users around the world in January this year. So that means there's been an upsurge, about 60% all across the globe are on the digital space. So if you want to reach me, you have to reach me digitally, right? You have to reach your consumers digitally because most of them are on the digital space now, right? So this is the environment we're operating. So you see, digital marketing is imperative in this age, and in line with the theme of this conference, is indeed something that will offer itself as a solution to many of the challenges we are facing. Right? Next slide. Right. I still continue to talk about the global context. We have some situations of rising inflation just the couple of months. Of course, all tied to the COVID-19 pandemic, where many nations we have to support critical sectors from collapsing as a result of the effect of this disease. So now we have a rising inflation, about 4.3% now compared to 2016, which is just less than 3%. So there's pressure on prices. You know, one of the P's in marketing is the price. So you see that there will be some rethinking and tweaking in regards to your product. How do you deliver your product at a reasonable and affordable price will become very important element in your marketing mix, isn't it? So your core of marketing has not really changed. What has changed is the channel. What has changed is how you respond, how your strategy responds to what is changing in the business environment. Price is always a key issue, isn't it? Value is always a key issue in business and in marketing, in finance, in system. Everything revolves around price. So we have contactless economy, we have online banking, we have digital currencies, we have nearshoring, we have video marketing, we have blogging and affiliate marketing, we have social networking, we have all sorts of marketing, but the marketing mix has not changed. My argument is that the marketing mix has not changed. It has not changed. Only the channel now has changed. The fundamentals of marketing has not changed. Guys, that's my argument here to all of us. We still have to reach the customer wherever they are. Only now, most of them are in the digital space. Right? Let's see the next slide. Okay. This is another one. If you're able to see this slide, if you're able to see, there are many curves there, and I just like you to look at the one below, the lowest one. I hope students can see the digital in red. You can see a spike from the 90s to where we are now. And then if you look at the print channel, it's on the downward trend, right? You can see it's on the downward trend, and the digital is on the upward trend. When you come out, talk about the advertising as a percentage of our global GDP, people are spending more money on the digital space. I think everybody is experiencing it. Anytime you go on the internet, you see the adverts, isn't it? They pop up. If you're not on the premium platform, you're on the basic platform, you have adverts in caution on whatever you are doing on the internet. So it's rising because everybody is trying to get your attention, isn't it? So let's see the next slide. Yep. There is a book on your right. It's called The Future by Richard Watson. Very interesting book. There are over 50 things he articulated. He's a futurist, very well respected futurist. He wrote about it about 10 years ago. And the first three things he talked about is what I had some pictures there. Ubiquitous surveillance. So wherever you are under surveillance. Digital democracy. You have laptop, you have a tablet, you have this, you have that. Using it to do whatever you're doing. Your presence is captured in real time. And then, of course, this is the age of drones, right? And then we've had some electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, driving vehicles on the road. They are unmanned. This is the age of digital, my friends. And then, of course, you have artificial intelligence on your left down. You see a human brain integrating with digital space. Artificial intelligence versus human intelligence is what is happening now. How is marketing going to respond to all of this? There are challenges there, but there are also opportunities. Is the future here already? Of course, your answers will be as good as mine, because this was about 10 years ago. Are they not here? They're here already. Next slide, please. Let's pause a little bit. After all of this, what's the theory? How do we explain what is happening here? I happen to be, as I said, both a practitioner in management and also a theorist. I mean, an academic, I should say. And over the years, I see that my interest is, okay, from my experience in the industry, what are the theories saying? Is there a meeting of mind between what is driving this and what I experience in business? So what's the explanation for all of this in the digital space? What's the theory driving digital marketing? How do we position ourselves for the explanation about the future of marketing? Well, one or two things. Number one, our respected management scientist, Peter Drucker, everybody knows about him in the management school or business school. He has already said there will be the age of discontinuity, the permanence of change, the reality of disruptiveness. He has recognized that there's nothing like the past being repeated in the future. So when we do extrapolation, we do all of these things in my discipline of finance, but the limitations are also there. So what's this theory? The theory is that things will continue to change. What we are going to see in the next 2, 3 years, perhaps even in the next month, may not be the same as what we're experiencing today. I mean, we know that in the last 3 years, what has changed? We have new technologies. We have new perspective about globalization. We still have cultural pluralism. We still have knowledge capital emphasis. So when we learn more, we will change more. When we have a new device, we would like to exploit it if it works. When we realize that we are linked together in this world through these climate change issues, we will learn to recognize the importance of globalization. When we recognize that even though we are different people, I'm an African, you're an Indian or Asian or whatever it is, we have different backgrounds, so to say, but our need as human beings are probably the same. We have the same blood flowing under our skins. So these are fundamentals. These are fundamentals. So will the marketers recognize that? Will they recognize global space as well as cultural space and tailor their marketing to respect both at the same time? That is the issue. Okay, we have other theories. I don't want to take your time about that. But if you look at them, I've read them, they're about saying the same thing that Peter Drucker is talking about. So digital marketing will be driven by changes that is occurring in the dynamics of the business environment, my friends. So if you understand this, you will see my conclusion, what that will mean for every marketing department, for every marketing team across the globe. The fundamentals have not changed, only that our response strategy needs to be tweaked, need to be, need to be reformed. Otherwise, we may not be able to compete very well with what is happening around us. Next slide. So let me start looking at one of the issues again after the global context. I hope we appreciate the global context in which we are operating. Then we need to think now. We need to think. So now what will happen to marketing? If we understand what marketing is, to keep it simple, we have the producer, we have the consumer. How to ensure the continuity of service from the producer to the consumer is the task of every marketing team, whatever name it is called. I mean, there are different names for that in every organization, every nation, every region. But the task for delivering the goods and services to the end user remains the trust of marketing. Now we have digitalism, whether we like it or not. 60% of the globe, we are in it, and it's increasing. So what's the future of marketing? Let's look at some points, some reflections I've made. Maybe they will make sense to you or not. I don't know, but let's share. Next slide, please. Okay, a couple of points here. Some of them I've said it before. The benefits of digitalization is there. The ease with which you can buy things, everybody knows that by now. I can pay for anything across the globe right from my bedroom or my living room or my office. I don't need to visit the bank. When last did you go to the bank? I mean, when last did you go to the bank? So things have changed in regard to the platforms as brand exposure. Without visiting the companies, we can check them at the website without visiting them. We know their brand easily from our tablet, from our what do you call it, from our cell phone, from the internet. We know the brand. There's a growth of online shopping. It was accentuated during the COVID restrictions. We all know that. So marketing budgets are increasing to explore the situation. So social media expanding, Facebook becoming Meta. There are concerns here and there. Also, there is in spite of all of that, guys, there are also there is also the issue of income inequality. This is increasing. So, despite the gains of technology, notice that, ladies and gentlemen, we still have income inequality. There's still a huge scope for reaching the customer, especially, excuse me, especially those that we say they are the bottom of the pyramid and they are part of the system. Think about that. Let's nice, please. Now, excuse me, the future of marketing now, you begin to realize that it's going to be led by technology. We have a real-time tracking of changes in customer behavior. As a matter of fact, one of the market management consultants, McKinsey, have said that by the year 2030, which is just a few years away, 1 out of 3 of workplace activities will be automated. So 1 out of 3 activities you are even doing, perhaps even in the household activities, perhaps maybe in the office, perhaps in government. I mean, we all know everything is being automated. Public sector, private sector, there is always a trend now to automation. Services being changed from paper-based to automation. So you see the migration gradually to automation. Next slide, please. So when we understand that, we know that we have to tweak how we deliver the product. In fact, the product may need to be reformed in order to satisfy the need of the modern day customers. Pricing may be tweaked. How you deliver may change. How you promote it, how you advertise may change also. Because of what? Because of digitalization. There's an increase in the usage of the internet and digital technologies. So we have all of these distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The search engines are there, optimizing it and using it for your marketing effort. They're all there. And all sorts of products which are electronically based. So we have all this wide scope of digital marketing. They are wide and they are growing. Next slide, please. So also is innovation. So we know that organizations are increasingly leveraging digital technologies toward innovation. And so we need to bear this in mind that new technologies, innovativeness, they will be and continue to be part of the marketing experience. Next slide, please. So we have this has also brought about, according to a research recently, the need to address digital skills. I already said it. Access to the internet, access to the digital space does not mean that you have the capacity to deliver to the customer. That's one point. And then it does not mean that your target customer understands your product. So we have a skill gap. We have a knowledge gap here. So online marketing and communication skills from a recent research has been acknowledged. Even social media skills, Microsoft Office skills, operating system skills, and all digitalization skills was a part of the marketing reforms. Because if you are looking at it from your organization alone, without considering the capacity of your end user, then the gap will be there. They will not be able to buy because they don't understand your product. Things have changed. Things have changed massively. I am into higher education. I know the needs of my students have changed now compared to before COVID-19. I know that. I know that. So I have to make some adjustment as a teacher to my delivery because I'm a producer of knowledge. My students are my customers, and things have changed. So I need to find a new way and a new approach to make sure I'm delivering what I need to deliver to my students. So the producer needs to skill up. Also, the user, if he wants his or her needs met, he needs to skill up. So it's on both sides. That's my argument here. So we have the digital tools, which must be part of the marketing campaign. We have a training, what do you call it now? Training gap, which has to be also be considered part of the marketing management efforts to respond to the changes that we're seeing in the global space. I hope students are getting their questions. Ma'am, do you have any questions at this point? Yes? Hello? Okay. All right, sir.
Sir, we will have them in the end of the session, sir.
Okay, fine, fine, fine.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
so let's go to the next slide then. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, fine. Now, in terms of digital marketing and social media, I think we've just mentioned that you guys are familiar with that there's been some increases, people using their social media to search for people, search for places, and search for products. I call that PPP. So all that is happening across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and you know them all. So there's been an increase, for example, marketing opportunity, a huge marketing opportunity in the LinkedIn. Everybody knows about Facebook, but LinkedIn is just a new phenomenon, especially for those who are in the services sector and so on. So we have very big and increasing opportunity across the social media. You know that marketing is occurring every second on those spaces. Okay? So, but we have some concern. We have some concern. We have concern about consumer privacy, data protection. So this is a major issue that the marketing team needs to continue to be concerned about. Otherwise, it will affect your effectiveness. So I know that that's not something an individual organization can deal with. It's a regulatory issue. I know that the European Union has, I think they are in the forefront in terms of data protection regulation, to the best of my knowledge. So I think that other countries may want to just follow the European Union in this regard to strengthen regulatory, make the integrity of digital space attractive for people to be able to buy and sell in this new space. But if there is going to be some intrusion of privacy and you are not sure people are picking your personal profile and data, then it's going to restrict the optimal benefit of the digital marketing space. That's my point here. Otherwise, this is happening. There's a synergy between digital marketing and social media. So this is, it should be recognized. Next slide, please. Yes? Okay. Now we have a reference to markets of tomorrow. I think that came from there's a World Economic Forum, highly respected institute, talking about the need for creating markets of tomorrow. Why? Because now we have increased issues, for example, in terms of those apps that we have. Many apps are being produced and being out there in the space, but you find that, and everybody can check, how many of the apps that you are using, are you using every app? Possibly no. The research here is that 84% of the time is spent just on 4 of them. Is it true? I guess so in my own case, because I probably have many apps on my cell phone, but I don't think I use more than 2 or 3 in my case. Maybe that's the same experience with others. So the point is, what's the essence of all these apps? Apps for this, apps for that. So this is another area. It's an issue. If I'm only using 4 and there are 20 out there, who is using them? Are they effective? And then you talk about accessibility. Again, there is a lot of disparity there. 22% in Africa, 45% in Asia, 73% in China, 90% in the US, 92% in Western. You know, we're in the same digital space, but accessibility is different. So is the message reaching the target? There's a lot of potential in Africa and Asia. So what's happening in those areas? It means there should be an increase in marketing opportunity digitally in those areas. If the infrastructure is fine, and we know the infrastructure is not that good yet, it's not as advanced as what we have in more developed countries or regions of the world. That's the issue here. So we have the potential customers in those places on earth, but they don't have accessibility. So how to solve that problem? So we also have brand safety issue, detecting fraudulent traffic. Those are issues for digital marketing. They will continue to be unless they are addressed. So on your left, there is one new thing, Web3 technology. This is a new decentralized phase of the web that's about to happen. You have the big guns like Google and Facebook. We already see what's happening, cryptocurrency and all sorts. There's and then Richard Watson, I just mentioned it to you, talking about digital democracy. So we're about to enter another phase called Web3 technology. I don't know when it will come, but a stage or a phase where ordinary people, not the big guns, will be running the web. Get prepared for that. So innovation will continue, guys. There's no doubt about it. But so challenges will be there. Accessibility issue is also there. So also will be a change in the phase of web. We call it Web 3. Maybe it's already in India, I don't know. But where you have massive population in Asia and Africa, I think that's the next level. So the big guns should be well prepared. I don't want to go into the details. So, but the big guns now in the new environment, small ants can upset the lions. So we already see it in some other areas of warfare and all of that. So we're in the area of smartness, area of agility, smartness, small and effective. So if you say your company or your organization is big and you cannot fail, the new era may disappoint you. So you need to be on your toes, marketing wise, be ready for disruptiveness. So I think the theory is very robust, and I think that we all need to think about it so that we can make the world a better place. So marketing, digital marketing offers us opportunity to think and to fine-tune our strategies. Next slide, please. Now I need to just be faster. So we have non-linear digital marketing. I think I've said it. I've just said it now. We have new set of customers. So you can target individual rather than just a whole set of people. If you do that, you may be mistaken in the new era. So we have to find a way to target the individual, find out his need or her need, and reach out to the customer that way. LLDM is a new approach to me, I think, where you can deliver multiple marketing campaigns to the same individual because we are trying to meet the need. For example, you don't know my need, how to know what I want? So you have to find a way to know what I need, isn't it? So there has to be a new way. You have to leave presumption and actually have a data-driven approach to identify what I need, and then coming to meet me digitally to meet that need. I think that's the way to go. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, just a few points about strategy. Well, Paul Krugman have said what I just said. What does it take to win? This is a Nobel laureate. He said, wars are not won with braggadocio and machismo. That means not by how big you want to show us how big you are. That doesn't win a war. So in the business perspective, you got to be smart, isn't it? That's the way to go in strategic digital marketing. It requires a lot of research. It requires a lot of innovative thinking. It requires a lot of smartness in the era we are. This is very sophisticated environment that we are operating in. Okay, the era of unmanned, the era of new designs, devices, smart devices. That's the era we are now. And so I think Paul may be right here that we need to pause and think out our strategy and not rely on on arrogance, not rely on our bigness, so to say, but to really operate based on science, based on effectiveness, based on robustness, well thought out strategy. That's what we win the business war, perhaps other wars as well. Next slide, please. So we have two elements of marketing strategy. I just want to quickly mention, maybe you know them already. But the central point here I want everyone to be aware of when we are doing marketing, you are creating value. We're not doing anything different from what other departments or other business function area are doing. All of us are involved in creating value. Everyone, every competitive organization or societal unit serves the society. I said it at the beginning. So the purpose of the business unit or whatever organization is to create value and to protect it. So we need to be agile in the area of our vision and our mission. So that's the central point here. On one hand, to achieve that, you need to understand customer behavior. On the other hand, you need to develop how you to meet the customer need. I just said it. So when we are devising our marketing strategy, we need to keep these two, in fact, maybe three themes in focus. Do we understand the customer? If the answer is yes, how do we meet it? So now there is a new generation of predictive analytics that has to be part of the marketing efforts. Okay? So that's the point here. Next one. All right, so this is a normal business strategy approach. We have you have to pause and plan and be aware of our vision, mission, values. all the critical elements of normal strategy will have to be part of the digital marketing strategy. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So maybe you cannot reach the whole world, but you can reach a segment and position yourself for it, right? So all the basic elements in business strategy will also apply in the area of digital marketing. When we are crafting digital marketing strategy, knowing what the future is evolving, then we have to support that with smart objectives, objectives that are specific, that are measurable, that are relevant, that are achievable, and also time bound. Okay, so that's the essence of this reflection here. Next one, please. All right, I think I can just skip this. Next slide. All right. So let me just make some conclusions here, if I can. What my argument is that if we understand what marketing is all about, and we do as far back as the 1970s, we know that goods must change hands before they are used. If you can't get your service to me, how to use it? If you can't get your goods to me, how to get it, how to use it? If I don't know that I even need it, how to sell it to me? So a whole lot of things are involved in marketing that digitalism has not changed. The fundamentals of marketing has not changed. Our channel has changed. Our environment has changed. That's it. So both traditional marketing and digital marketing, they're on the same page. Nothing has changed. Both the traditional marketing in those days of selling insurance policy through knocking people's doors, and now the same aim. Only that our concern is that it should be effective. Our concern is that it should be efficient. Our concern is that it should be worthwhile. When you are transferring valuable service or product from the producer to the consumer, all these value creation, value protection must be there. If it's not there, then something is, there's a gap. So if we are doing our marketing, whatever we're doing now in this age of sustainability, you are marketing, you are not concerned about people. You are marketing, you are not concerned about the environment. You are marketing, you are not socially responsible. You are marketing, you don't care about accountability. What's the essence? What's the essence? So the fundamentals remain unchanged. So we will benefit from the emerging situation now and tomorrow and in the future if we change our style or our approach or our strategy. Or if we already have it, we need to tweak on it. All right? We need to tweak it to achieve some kind of agility. Because if agility means you have to change on time, you have to adjust on time. So marketing department need to be more agile, in my view. It has to be network based, like this collaboration. Muscat College, Ethiraj College for Women has expanded our thinking in this age, as the legendary founder, the late Sri Ethiraj, has stated that if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you're educating a family. That's good thinking. That informed the establishment of Ethiraj College for Women. That's why we are here. So every institution needs to respond to its purpose, isn't it? So agile marketing department, networking, team working with robust accountability system must be imperative. We need to move faster. We need to move earlier. First time mover, first time innovator. In the new scheme of things, we become very imperative, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be more decisive. We need to mind sustainability, as I said, and then We need to operate on data-driven scientific decision-making culture. If we are working blindly, we cannot know where we are going. But if we have our data, we have our facts, then we can plan our marketing campaign more effectively. This is what I think. Is there anything left? Next slide. Okay, so I'd like to stop here. So I'd like to thank you once again for listening to me. I hope I've reflected on the digital future of marketing. I think it's promising, but also challenging. I think we have opportunities, but we also have challenges. I think the best way is to respond with agility and full scientific understanding. I think we can achieve it with collaboration, with networking, and with a sense of belief in sustainability, care for the environment, care for the people. In your marketing campaign, you have to consider sustainability. Ethiraj College for Women have been there now 7 decades and marching on. So we have to leave prosperity, we have to leave legacy through whatever we are doing. And that's where I want to stop. So God bless Ethiraj College for Women, and thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, sir, for the informative session. We now move on to a quick Q&A session. What are the challenges of digital marketing that we are going to face in future, and how would we turn them into opportunities, sir?
Okay, that's a very good one. I think I've mentioned a couple of them. One area of concern is data privacy. And we have issues in trust all over the internet, everybody trying to get your attention. So we have all kinds of people stealing your identity. We have all kinds of people stealing even your product, digital product. We have intellectual property theft and all kinds of things in the age of digital marketing. So these are challenges that we're going to face in the future. How do we turn them into opportunities? Well, that's a good one. Um, First is to recognize them. Two is to collaborate. We have stakeholders. We are not working alone. So organizations, for example, Madras Chamber of Commerce is co-sponsoring this event. They are very good stakeholders to work with, how to make sure that the space is clean. There are no room for fraudulent people to enter and upset the benefit of digital marketing. I think that's one area, major area of concern. Yes, I don't know
Yes,
whether
sir.
I answered the question. Okay,
Thank you, sir. What should businesses do to stay up to date with the development in digital marketing?
a very good question. What should business do to stay? Very, very interesting question there. I think I just mentioned that also in my presentation. I said that things are changing. Things are changing rapidly. So how do you stay up? Awareness, research, innovation. You have to think almost every day how to deliver your product to the present generation and to the next generation, because they are thinking now digitally. Okay, so one, awareness. You have to recognize the changes in the society, and then you have to respond with agility. You have to be ready to change because you want to meet the need of the customer, isn't it? Like I just gave you an example in the higher education, we have because of the experience of COVID-19, the student I have that they are thinking before COVID-19, like paper-based exam now, they prefer to do maybe online now. So there's a change. The same student, the same need, mind you, the need has not changed, but there's a change in the environment. We had COVID-19, which was very pervasive. So that has changed their buying behavior in quote, because this is a service now. Their buying behavior is changed. So if my institution or if as a teacher I don't change to see how to meet the student need, they might go to the next college, for example. So we have to be up to date with our knowledge, and then we also have to respond. We have to be responsive. I call it agility.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was our last question. Thank you,
Okay.
sir, for patiently answering our questions. I now call upon Ms. Kavya Shri, third year BCom, self-supporting, to deliver the vote of thanks.
All right. Thank you so
Gratitude
much.
makes sense of the past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Good afternoon, one and all. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Stephen R.O. Gordon, Assistant Professor, Department of Business and Accounting, Muscat College, Oman. Sir, we are grateful for the time and effort you have taken to share your thoughts and insights with us. Your words on the rise of digitalization in the grounds of marketing enlightened us. The association of digital marketing with the business strategy paved us way to see the future. Your priceless words of inputs have indeed inspired us immensely. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.